La 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 la.
Are you ready?
La 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 la. I gotta get my vocal cords ready.
Oh, good.
Are we live?
We're live.
Monday. It's all very exciting. What's up, y'all?
John and Nadya Melton, we're coming to you live on this gorgeous day. You can see it right behind us.
It's a little warm.
It's about to get
toasty.
warm.
It's a little sunny.
It's about to get warm. You know what they say? When you have warm blood, you have warm cells, you're living large, and good things happen.
It's like the Nelly song.
Oh, this is
It's
why
getting
everybody
hot in
wants to
her.
move south. That's how that works.
Yeah.
All right. So in today's video, you guys, we're super psyched. On today's show, we're talking about the strategy. Okay, I'm psyched about this conversation, John.
Me
Are
too.
you excited?
We're going to talk about lead generation. Drop it to the comments. Let us know if you want leads for your business. Right? Would you like to have quality leads? That's a topic of conversation.
Yeah,
People always ask me, where do I find the best humans? Where do I find people that are interested? They're ready to buy. And that conversation is interesting. And I think we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about our number one strategy for generating leads. What has worked best for us over the years? In fact, I'm curious because a lot of you know us, you follow us, and you followed us for quite some time. Drop it to the comments. Let us know. What do you think it is? What do you think we're going to say? I'm sure a lot of you are going to either get it or you'll get close to it. And if you want to win some cash, if you want to win,
whoever gets it first gets a cash prize.
No, I don't want to do that because I don't want to tell them the answer right away.
Oh.
So no, we're not going to do that. But whoever is sharing and tagging people, we're going to give away some academies, some of our online academies. You know, I've had people tell me they did not know that we had an online academy, which I found fascinating. But we have our video and branding academy, which I think is an academy that would be ideal. So we're going to randomly pick some people, you know, stay until the very end. Definitely share and tag, smash the heart button if you're excited. But I can tell you this.
Okay.
When it comes to leads, because we've been doing this for close to 2 decades, which is crazy. We started when we were 10. But we've done it all. We've prospected on every social site, right? I've prospected people. I used to prospect people on MySpace. How many of y'all had MySpace? How many of you used MySpace back in the day for your network marketing business? That'll really tell us how long some of you have been in the profession, but I've been doing this for a hot second, right? And I remember one of our best teams came from a MySpace lead and actually led to Shukafe, who's one of your good friends today. You have a hair right here, me.
Oh, it was tickling me.
That looks like Toby's hair.
No, it's for my makeup brush.
Oh, makeup brush. That's not very vegan of you. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
Wow,
so,
baby.
You know,
judgy.
Judgy. So anywho, generated leads on every social media site. And I shouldn't just say generated leads, meaning we prospected. We've done where you buy the home-based business leads. How many of you have tried that before and it sucks? Right? We've done warm market, cold market, online, offline. We've done every social site. We've prospected off of LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, obviously the Facebook, right? We've prospected in every way you can imagine. Cold calling leads, running ads on Career Builder, Monster Jobs. Remember that? Craigslist. Well, how about, check this out. Back in the day, remember we all paid X amount of dollars, I don't remember how much, a few $100s a month to have access to the resume database.
Yeah.
And we would look for keywords, sports minded.
Yeah.
Right? The word marketing.
Good.
We would look for certain jobs.
Yes.
Like they'd done, or they played certain sports. So we would search lacrosse, soccer, baseball, basketball. We would literally search keywords and pull up resumes that had those keywords because they were typically the kind of people we would want to recruit. Do you remember that?
I do.
That just popped into my head.
This is actually
so we've done
really
it all.
Good. And this position does really well, actually, when we started doing stuff online.
Right.
Too, like a little bit more intensely, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so you guys, listen, this is the conversation that I think most of us struggle with, especially when we're pretty new to building our business, right?
Right.
And so we always want to say, you're going to step it up, you're going to mess it up. And you essentially are going to identify those very favorite people that you really enjoy working with. And then you a little bit like create this avatar, you create this a little bit of a visual of like your perfect guy or the perfect girl that you want to work with. And then when you show up online, you're going to be speaking to that one person.
Right.
And so the magic there, and this was a huge transition for me because I was like so acting when I first started online. It was like I would cringe.
You were putting on a front.
I would cringe
You
because
felt fake.
Yeah,
you felt cheesy.
I did.
You felt weak.
Yes. Because you know what it is when you look into the camera, Dot, how many of you guys struggle with this and you show up to do content? We're going to talk to you about our very, very favorite strategy. We've done, I feel like, all the strategies under the sun.
We have
to generate
done
leads.
all the things.
And this is the best strategy that created the best results. And we want to talk to you and dive into the details or the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
But with this strategy, you know, when you show up online and you're creating content, right? If you visualize like a sea of people that you're wanting to attract to you, you're actually going to be a little bit stiff. You're gonna just project this very unnatural energy. Anyway, so for me,
hold on. Let's also, that's a really good point because we run Facebook ads.
Yes.
Right. And I can tell you this.
Yeah.
With our Facebook ads, sometimes we get negative people that comment, like nasty comments, because it's people that we wouldn't want to attract. They are not interested in what we have to say.
Yeah.
They're not interested in building a network marketing business, an online business. They look at people like us as scammers. That's not who we want to talk to, right? But when you feel like you're trying to talk to people like that, you're trying to convince people to do what you do or buy from you, those are not your people.
Amen, baby.
It's not effective in convincing humans that will never buy your product or join your team. You don't want to communicate with them. Does that make sense? And actually, what I was going to say, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to point that.
For sure did,
I wanted to point that out. Notice.
I'm glad you noticed.
That's wrong. Okay, there you go.
Baby, you focus on your task.
So I think it's important to understand that the best type of lead, simply put, is the lead that comes to you.
Oh, good.
Now, can you sit back and twiddle your thumbs and wait for people to respond to your curiosity posts? Wait for people to come to you and send you friend requests? No, that's a horrible strategy. But I know people, just like you know people, and I know people would rather take the path of least resistance. So this is why we started implementing attraction marketing strategies and putting out content, because we wanted people to come to us, but we also knew that we couldn't teach people to do something that we hadn't proven, that we hadn't done ourselves. So I can tell you that there's nothing more beautiful, there's nothing more amazing than having either a complete stranger find you or come to you, or a warm market, someone you're friends with right now, but they reach out to you and they ask you what you're doing. They ask you about your product. They ask you about your business. Capiche?
Capiche. I love that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I hope you guys are ready. Okay, if you're joining us live, I totally a little bit flew over this beautiful CTC, right? We call this call to comment. Let us not skip over this. If you're watching this live, let us know what part of the world are you tuning in from? And if you're watching this on a replay, can you let us know the timestamp? Like, what time are you watching this? I am always curious on what part of the world you're watching this from, so we can say hello.
Let's pick a winner real quick.
Can I please finish a sentence?
Can we pick a couple winners though?
Can I finish what I'm saying?
I'm so sorry.
I do not forgive you right now. I need a minute to recuperate my thoughts. So in today's broadcast, we want to talk to you about our very favorite lead generation strategy. And this is from years of trying all kinds of stuff and doing it like all out, right? So favorite lead generation strategy, da, da, da. Say it like you mean it.
Videos.
Are you shocked to your very core? Live video.
Live
Okay, yes,
video.
live
Kind of
video.
like right now, because you never know
Okay.
what's going to happen.
Okay, fine. Settle down. Stop sweating. It gets better. All right. And in today's broadcast, too, we're going to dial in 8 smart Facebook Live ideas to get you more customers and to get you more leads. Oh my gosh, are you freaking out right now? Okay, because I am freaking out too. We're going to give you 8 of the best ways to show up strategically. Because here's the deal. If you're going to show up with strategy. We don't want to throw mud against the wall. I mean, unless you're looking to create some kind of art and you're doing it as a family and you're definitely recording it. But if you're not, and you're just showing up and kind of like without a vision, right? You're just doing stuff. That is not how you're going to create or scale your results. So I am psyched. I hope you're psyched. Okay, John, let's go ahead.
Leads on leads. That's what we want. That's what we want to generate, because as much as I think it's important for you to prospect and proactively reach out to humans.
Good.
And look, the reason most of us don't reach out to people because we're worried about being judged. We're worried about someone rejecting us. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to get rejected. So I understand. But at the end of the day, who do you think generates more leads? Someone that puts out content once in a while, shares other people's stuff, or people that build a personal brand, people that show up consistently, people that show up with posture, with enthusiasm. Right? It's just interesting because I could probably pull up most of your social media pages and most of you are not creating content. Most of you are not putting out live videos. Do you have to do live videos?
No.
No, you don't.
Do you have to make a lot of money?
No, you don't. Here's the truth. The people that I know, and actually we could just talk about some examples.
Yeah.
When I think of Ray Higdon, right? Ray Higdon was one of the ones that I started following because he was teaching. He became an authority in his niche of network marketing, training, and coaching. Yeah. He was doing videos every single day. Now, back then, he was blogging every day.
That is what we call beast mode.
Yes, beast mode on a whole other level. Blogging every day is a whole other level.
Well, we tried it. Do you remember? For a couple of weeks, I almost died.
Painful.
Well, baby, you didn't know how to log into your blog. So it was basically.
I still don't know my password and log in.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Thank God for you, baby. Thank
Oh,
God for
minimum.
you. But doing the live video is so simple, right? You just hit the go live button. Now, of course, you have to have content. And we're going to talk about 8 smart Facebook Live ideas
You're gonna love
to generate more leads and customers for your business. But when I think about like the top people, Bob Heilig started doing a video every day at 8 a.m., right? I remember when Julie Burke did our video challenge. She's built a huge personal brand. Yeah. Danelle Delgado, we got her to start doing videos. And this was before live video. Yeah. Right. We would record a video and upload it to Facebook.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
the good old days.
Fallon built a huge brand. How about Tanya Eliza? Right. She's had a YouTube channel for like a decade.
Oh, she's crushing.
She does a live video once a week. Marina Simone, live video once a week. Bryn Lang. If you know some of these people, tag them, shout them out. Bryn Lang does a live video almost every day. Why? Because if you want to compete at a high level in whatever space, whatever niche you're in, whoever creates the most content wins. You have to out-teach your competition. And actually, I learned that from Ray Higdon years ago. Eric Worre, probably the #1 network marketing trainer in the industry, at least, from a revenue standpoint, probably generates the most revenue of all the trainers, has the biggest events. Guess what? He does videos all the time. I don't know if he does them every day. I don't follow him as closely, but he probably does a video every day. And he's been doing videos for years and years and years and years. However, as Nadya would put it, it could be a TikTok video.
Right.
It could be some type of pre-recorded video.
Okay.
It could be an Instagram story. On Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Snapchat, they should see your face every single day. Right. Look, Whitney Haynes says, I have found through watching your trainings and working on going live more, I'm way more comfortable going live in my business than anything else. And actually, I saw someone that messaged earlier that said, I found you guys on Pinterest. Yeah. Right. So we have built a community. Think about how easy it would be to generate leads out of your own community. Tiffany Clonch, she does content geared towards the keto diet. And because she talks about keto, she's become an expert on the keto diet. She's gotten incredible results. She studied it. She's mastered it. She knows how to teach people to get results. She generates leads out of her keto community. So it doesn't have to be like you're a network marketing trainer. You just need to figure out, what are you good at? What are you passionate about? How can you show up consistently to share value, tips, lifestyle? We're going to give you 8 Facebook Live ideas, but I'm telling you, when you start putting out content and sharing your story and sharing ideas, at first, you're probably going to be nauseous. You're probably going to feel like Nadya in the beginning, where you feel like you're putting on a facade. Now you're probably saying, well, John, how come you didn't feel that way? I don't know. I just didn't care as much. I think what it really was is we were so frustrated and fed up with the old school way of doing things, 3-foot ruling it, feeling obligated to talk to every person that got within 3 feet of us, every waiter, every bartender, it felt like we couldn't be human. We couldn't be normal. We had to like go out like a robot, like a machine, just to find people. Like PTSD from that. Yeah,
because
like
we don't want
people literally ask us.
We don't want to socialize with our neighbors. Like we hide.
Right. People ask us like, "What do you do?" And we like literally feel awkward because we're like,
we dodge because it's not good.
Yeah, we of course we know how to handle ourselves.
But I feel like we packed 40 years of offline uncomfortable experiences into 5 years.
We're like, how do I say this without seeming like I'm trying to sell them? We help people make a fortune on the internet.
LOL. Right? It was intense. Okay, so we have a good excuse, right?
Remember our bet? One of my favorite lines. One of our best lines I remember.
Oh, what is it, baby?
We're talent scouts. You remember that one? It's so old school, but it used to be so funny.
That's a good one.
What they would say, well, what do you do? You're like, oh, I'm a talent scout. They're like, well, what kind of talent scout? Like, I don't know.
What kind of talent do you have?
What kind of talent do you have?
Oh, we have so many one-liners. We should create a page just for fun.
But it worked.
Like, how cheesy can one be? You know what I mean? We've done it all.
What do you do? Well, I teach people like you how to fire their boss.
And then there's like the eyebrow, baby. The eyebrow is important.
Yeah. You have to look mischievous.
Oh my. I know. Okay.
But then once you build a brand, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the other beautiful part of building a personal brand and showing up as an authority in whatever your niche is.
At the schedule,
you can get on other people's podcasts. Get on other people's radars. You can get on other people's stages. Other people will invite you onto their Facebook Live in their group to do a training. Like, how cool is that? In fact, we just got an email from Shalene Johnson. I was like, who just emailed about Shalene Johnson, who's one of our favorite mentors and teaches marketing and building a personal brand. She's one of the best. And she wants to interview us on her podcast. In fact, I saw Trey's on here. Trey just got interviewed. So Trey, would you agree that was good for business to get on her podcast, right? When you get on other people's radars, when you get on other people's stages, you start to generate leads from other people's networks. And there's always a percentage of people that see you. I want more from that person.
Yes.
I'm going to reach out to that person. I'm going to send them a friend request. Definitely. I got to know what they do, how they do it. I need tips. I need advice. In fact, that was the other thing I had to do. I used to just give away advice, give away tips. I used to connect with anybody that I felt like they were a good human. They seemed sharp. And I was like, man, I want to connect with this person. I want to help this person. And I didn't even try to get money from them, right? Like I get people, leaders in other companies like, hey, will you do a training for me? And, if they have a decent size organization, I'll do a free 30-minute training for them. Why? Because I'm getting in front of their community. Now, the distinction with me and Nadya and I have a training and coaching business for network marketers, right? So we don't go into some other network marketers group and then try to recruit people for our network marketing business. We try to keep those two things separate. That's a whole other conversation. But I think it's important to understand the value in building a brand isn't just so you generate leads on your platform, but you can get in front of other people's audiences, get on other people's stages, get on other people's podcasts. And that's really the power of collaboration and connecting with people that are maybe kind of at the same level as you and start collaborating and masterminding. And again, this is high level stuff, but it all starts with you showing up on social media. Yeah. It starts with you showing up with content. And here's the beauty. Then you can next level it and start taking some of your content. This is another genius thing. And Gary Vaynerchuk is one of the best when it comes to this stuff, but then you can repurpose that content. You can take an interview, you could take a live video and chop it up, turn it into an Instagram IGTV, or turn it into a podcast episode, or turn it into a shorter video that you can drive traffic to, paid traffic. Again, this is next level stuff, but you could create a YouTube channel. You could create TikToks. There's a lot of things you can do, but it starts with you creating the content. Now, some people will say, I suck at creating content.
Oh,
I suck at doing videos. Of
well,
course.
let us not speak death.
Well, first of all, be very careful with what you say about what you do and who you are as a person. Be careful when you talk about your identity and your skill set, because what you speak about, you bring about.
Yeah.
But the truth is you suck at it because you haven't been doing it.
Right.
So that's why we're going to help you. Let's get into these
That was so good, baby.
Smart.
You crushed it.
Facebook
And I
Live
really
ideas.
love the way that you bring about the law of reciprocity, right?
Just be a good
And
human.
for those of you guys that are brand new, I know it could seem so intimidating, right? And when John talks, I don't know if he has the same effect on you, but my blood legitimately starts moving at faster speeds. And then you get so excited, you go, I don't even know where to begin. And there's so much opportunity. And so we have to ground ourselves in the fact that, okay, we all have to start somewhere. And some of us have that small audience shame, or we have shame attached to starting small. And there's nothing shameful about that, right? There's nothing shameful about starting and sucking, because that's going to be comedic value 6 months from now, 12 months from now. I right now regret deleting probably hundreds of videos, maybe even like 1,000 videos, because I just would cringe when I watch it. And so for those of us that have that little bit of anxiety about starting small, listen, we all start small, number one. Number two, your audience is like your bank account. Like when we first start, it just doesn't have any value to it. And the way that you build it up is by constantly making deposits. And this is where you showing up consistently is going to be that residual effect. And law of reciprocity is so huge. And I believe there's universal laws that once you understand and you just then operate on faith, you're just going to have the trust that everything always works out for you. And law of reciprocity tells us that whatever you put out there is going to cycle back to you 100-fold.
Right.
But sometimes it's going to take a hot second. So we have to be patient. We have to be patient. But down the road, you're going to look back and be like, wow, it didn't even take me all that long to build my dream business, right? Okay, so let's talk about live video. We got to get started. We got to get going. We got to believe that, you know what? I'm just going to like take my audience on the journey with me so they can watch me grow. They can watch me evolve. And you're not going to delete your bad videos because 6 months from now, you're going to love. And so will your audience. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, let's get into it.
Don't take yourself so seriously.
Please.
Just have fun with it.
Please do it.
And if you suck at it, the good news is you probably won't have a lot of people watching. So just embrace the suck. Have fun.
Also, you know, one little nugget that helped me a lot was that people that are going to tune into your content, they don't tune in to pick you apart. They tune in to get the value from you. But when you watch your own video, you watch it to pick yourself apart. And we are our own worst critics. So maybe if I were you in the beginning, don't even watch your videos until you go, okay, I'm going to watch my video only to look for one little thing that I can be better at next time.
That is the hardest part. I forgot what that was like. Back in the day, it was like, oh, my voice sounds so weird. And why did I say that? That joke was weird. Why did I tell that story? Yeah, you just can't
I didn't land that plane.
You just can't care.
That joke was not that funny.
Right.
Okay. 8 smart Facebook Live ideas to get more leads and customers. Here we go. Idea number one is what we're going to call authority video creation. You want to create authority videos. I want you to think of it like this. Let us go ahead and begin teaching people what you know. Now, for some of us, this is going to be really tough to identify because, you know, when you're too close to something, you take it for granted, right? And like the things that come really natural to you, or the lessons that you've learned, or the skills that you've developed, you don't even recognize the fact that what you know, 90% of the people there, they're dying to know your little intricate insights. Right? Okay, so how do we begin with this authority conversation, John?
So in the beginning, for us, we had an advantage because we'd already been in network marketing for a while, 10 plus years at that point, and we were already top earners. So we
were doing presentations every day.
True. And we were able to do.
So it was on the tip of our tongue.
Pre-recorded videos, which people think those are easier. And I actually think those are harder. I guess it depends on the person, but I would rather talk it out live where it seems to me that when you know it's live and you can't just shut off the video. I mean, I guess you could
stop and start that sentence again.
Right. You just kind of show up differently.
Yeah.
And I think there's power in doing it live. But technically back in the day, we did do pre-recorded videos, but it just took longer because you'd be like, oh, I didn't like that video. Let me do it again.
But what do we talk about? What does that mean? Authority.
But I think for us in the beginning, we had that advantage because we were talking about our experiences. For some of you, you have that as well. You have an experience. It doesn't have to be network marketing. It could be something else that you're an expert in, right? But if you don't have anything that you're an expert in, like you don't feel like you have expertise on anything, start with what you're learning. Mm-hmm. Start with what you're learning, because let's say you're developing leadership skills. You're developing your mindset. You're starting to pay attention to content or reading books geared towards network marketing or online marketing or attraction marketing, whatever, right? You can start showing up with content with your perspective, your personality, sharing your biggest takeaway. Like, oh my gosh, I read Think and Grow Rich. I read chapter 1. Thoughts are things. It blew me away. Here are my biggest takeaways. You don't have to act like you're an expert in wealth, but if you're reading a book on wealth creation and you turn around and teach what it is you learned, you're still coming across as an expert, maybe not at the same level, but you got to start somewhere. And again, back to Ray Higdon, we learned ILT, invest, learn, teach. You invest time into learning something, you turn around and teach it. The other thing that I heard from Caleb Maddox, I think it was Caleb, that said, learn, earn, return. I like that one also. When you learn something, you implement it. That's key. You create a result and you turn around and share what you did to create the result and how you implemented. So just start showing up with tips, with value, with insight.
And there's 2 ways that to help you think through is you can teach from either A, your results, or B, what you're learning, right? So results or your aha moments. So essentially look at yourself either A, as a reporter, like you're reporting live on the scene. I used to, this is still one of my favorite things to do, right? Is walk into a space. Like, let's say, you know, when it's like something interesting is happening, some kind of education is happening, and you come in with with the phone on, maybe you're live or whatever, and you go live. I'm Channel 3 News. I'm reporting.
You literally do this.
I do this. It's hilarious. And people sometimes believe me because, I look so, postured and whatnot.
They think they're on TV.
Yes. So have fun with it. Yes. So authority, think about what kind of results have you created. It doesn't have to be earth shattering. You don't have to be in the top 1% of the humans that have achieved it, right? What results have you created? And what are those areas of interest that you're learning in every single day that you can then turn around and share? And I would set a goal to show up with an authority video once or twice per week. Now, for those of us that are maybe in the beginning stages of identifying a voice, identifying a personal brand, I want to really challenge you to show up live every day for 30 days. And here's why that's really powerful.
I like it.
It's because all of us have those limiting beliefs, like, who am I to teach, or who am I to show up? And you're going to have those limiting beliefs, but if you commit to showing up every single day for 30 days, you're going to overcome this whole limiting belief, because by the end of the 30 days, you're going to get people saying to you, wow, like, I am so grateful you showed up and talked about this. Like, this one little tip that you shared helped me ABC, right? You're going to start to see essentially the residual side effect of your courage to show up on video. But number 2, you're also going to overcome the landmine of what do I talk about? Because every day you're going to have to just kind of look for a solution, right? So authority, number 1. Number 2, I love this one. Tip number 2 is you can do interviews. Okay, so this is like a beautiful little hack. Like, imagine you come upon, you're in the woods and there's a river and you don't want to get wet. You don't want to get dirty and whatever. So you're going to look for a bridge. So what's a good way to jump into this whole personal branding thing? Well, you can interview people. And you guys, there are people out there that have built huge personal brand. Think Darren Hardy former Success magazine publisher. Yes. He built his brand initially around interviewing very successful people.
Right.
So you can start bringing people onto your show. See how fancy you are? Stop it. I love it. You have your own show, and now you're going to identify people that you naturally are really curious to pick their brain. Like, let me know in the comments. Do you have that curiosity? By design, maybe by default, I don't know. I haven't figured this one out, but I'm so curious. Like, I have to always be evolving, or else it's a depression session for me. Honestly, I'll say it like it is. I love to learn and evolve. And then I also like to hang out with people that have these cool perspectives.
Right.
And I'm yet to meet a human being that doesn't have elevated knowledge in certain areas. So some of us, I want to just invite you to be more curious about people, get into their brain, and then why not double task and also do this in interview live and Facebook Live. Stop.
Boom. Well, it's kind
Amazeballs.
of like Casey and Kylie. How many of you saw that interview last week?
Yes.
And there was people that said that was one of the best interviews, one of the best videos they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they got so good at doing videos, because 3 or 4 years ago, they did our 30-day video challenge.
Yeah.
And then you were getting on them like after the challenge was over.
I was not shy about it.
You were like, why did you stop? And they're like, I don't know. Nadia's like, just keep going.
Yeah.
And they've done a video like every day for like 3 or 4 years.
And how sharp are they?
Exactly.
Just their conversation. So you got to look at it also when you show up and you show up on camera consistently, you're going to become so polished. So for those of us that go, man, I really am ready to start attracting higher quality people to me and my business. Listen, the best way to personally develop, like accelerate yourself to that next level of sharpness is be doing videos.
And
like
videos don't have to be
legitimately.
long. They can be 3
5
minutes, 5 minutes,
2 minutes.
It doesn't
20 minutes.
doesn't have to be long.
Okay.
But you could interview your customers. You could interview teammates, upline, sideline, downline. You can interview like Ian Lenhart. He started his own podcast.
Love it.
And he just started interviewing, just sharp people from all different backgrounds that he found interesting. Like, I want to know about this person.
Mhm.
I want to get to connect with this person, get to understand their story. How did they do what they did? How they create that success? And he's interviewing all different types of people. So at the end of the day, interviewing is one of the easiest and most effective ways, especially with Facebook Live bringing back the dual live broadcast feature. So you don't even have to use a third-party tool. Like, we're using StreamYard right now, so we can project in 3 different places on Facebook.
Yeah.
My page, our business page, our group, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yeah.
So I do like third apps.
Yes.
But it's beautiful that you don't need any of this. You
Right.
don't need Zoom and all these other
Yeah.
third-party tools.
Don't let technology intimidate you, please.
Right.
Like, I want to tell you, start ugly. You know, we live in a world today that's so over-branded, and it's easy to just get so intimidated by that. But in my book's version 101 is better than 000.
1.0 is better than
You know, I was
version
thinking about, like,
0.0.
I was thinking about those classes in college. Remember, it'd be like Psychology 101, Psychology 201. And I always went for higher. Like,
wow.
Yes. So I would
Overachiever.
take like Calculus 401.
I was the opposite.
Are you so impressed with your wife?
Yeah, I'm always impressed.
Please.
Always intrigued.
You guys always be edifying yourself to your spouse. Okay.
She truly does this all the time. And I know I saw a couple people just wondering like how to get started. You know, one of the easiest ways.
Drop the word checklist in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Wait, but it's only on the business page.
Oh, only on the business page. Oh, that's why we stopped doing it.
People always get confused. They're like, what
Just
page am I
screamed
on?
at me.
I don't know what page I'm on.
Right. Okay. So you guys, we're going to link to it. If you're watching this on a replay, just check the description of this video. But if you go to mylifestyleacademy.com/guide, we actually created this really beautiful checklist for those of us that just want those 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, right? On how do you get started? Like, what technology do you need? Like, what should you prepare? Do you write out a speech?
What
do
are your
you
title?
create some bullet
What do you
points?
talk about?
What should be the title? Because that's important. Do you know what I mean? We got to stop the traffic. We got to alert the elders. We got to pique their eyebrow curiosity. Gots to do it.
And you know what's cool too? The best part, the interview doesn't always have to actually be an interview. We're not interviewing each other. We're doing a live video together.
That's true, baby.
So you can bring someone on.
We should create a different word.
A lot of my interviews are really just, I'm doing a training with another person, another expert, and we're both asking questions. We're both providing tips and value. So sometimes we get a little twisted, like, well, what am I going to ask? Like, just do it with someone else with the idea of, I want to make an impact on the person watching this video. I want to share with them an idea, a
conversations. Hack. Thank you, Shauna.
Yes, a story, something that can help them level up in their business.
You can even have your dog or your cat in it. I mean, let us not overthink it. All right. So number 3, let's talk about number 3. You got lifestyle storytelling videos. Those are really cool. Those are really fun. Like, we've done stuff with our kids, right? So I actually really want to maybe do one with Christina because we're having this really cool new experience, right? She is 100% virtual. We've never done it before. And it's really cool. So she's essentially, I don't know if there's a word for it. It's not homeschooling, but she is at home. Virtual schooling.
Yeah, it's virtual school.
Yeah.
There is a term.
Okay, there is a term. Well, thank you. Anyways, so lifestyle, this would be considered like a lifestyle video if we talked to Christina.
Yeah.
And we could even double task it with the conversation that we just identified with bullet point number 2. So see how you can play with it.
And we may have to bribe her because she probably
And you could do storytelling. You guys, people love stories, right? So anytime you tell a really good story, you can showcase your lifestyle. So those are just really nonchalant opportunities, honestly, to give people almost like, they're peeking, like they're like now a fly on the wall.
People are nosy.
People are nosy. This is why social media is so big, right? People are nosy. They want to know what everybody's up to. Like, we all kind of want to know, and we want to be in the know. Bring people into your loop, and that way you can essentially create this finish my sentence.
Right.
Finish my sentence.
Right.
Okay. I think we said it. We meant it.
Did good.
Okay.
You always
Number
do so good.
4.
You guys got that right. Smash the heart button if that made sense.
Okay.
Monique has a great question. Tips on getting more influential people to do interviews. You know what? I think it's the same thing as attracting influential people to your business. Become a person of influence. Like, let me just be very transparent. When somebody with a small audience, maybe they're just starting out, maybe they started a new platform, whatever, they want to interview me. Honestly, back in the day, I would just say yes to anybody, right? Years ago. Now I'm
you don't have the bandwidth.
I could find the bandwidth, but then I'm taking away from something else.
Right.
Right. And I don't want to find the time to get interviewed by someone that's going to have 2 people on the video. Does that make sense? It's you got to grind it out. You got to go out there and create the audience. Like, if I said, hey, Tony Robbins, I want to interview you, I feel like I'm pretty influential, but not to the level I would need to get Tony to want to be interviewed on my show. Make sense? You've got to go out and create the success to attract higher caliber people to you. So that's just the way it is in anything. But I think it's a great question. Ultimately, the answer is become more influential, right? Build an audience that your influential contacts would want to get in front of. And then you have more control over it too. They're going to be more excited to get on your show, to get on your radar, because you've created an audience they want to get in front of.
Yeah.
All right.
Love
Number 4.
Make a big announcement.
Right.
This is cool. Okay. Never skip over important life milestones. Like, if you get pregnant, if you get engaged, if have you seen those videos, the way that people,
a big rank advancement,
the way that people announced the news to the world about whether it's a boy or a girl.
Oh yeah.
Like those are really cool to create a lot of eyeballs onto your content.
True.
Right.
Good point.
So what happens is, let's say you've been doing some really awesome authority videos, and you've been doing some interviews and some really cool lifestyle, right? And all of a sudden you have this huge announcement, whether it's a life announcement or a business announcement, whatever. And now naturally people are going to be nosy. They're going to tune into your stuff, and then they're going to want to check out other content as well. Right? So big announcements are so huge. You don't want to just skip over it. Like it's no big deal. We got to make it huge.
Right. And who's sharing, who's tagging, let us know. Let's give away some cash.
Okay.
So we're going to do what we did the last couple of weeks, where
Okay.
you get the choice of getting cash or one of our academies. In fact, let's do our video and branding academy.
Oh, I love
one of
it.
the most badass courses on the market.
That academy is amazing.
Yeah, it's a $197 course on the website.
Yes.
So you could get access to that for free, or you could choose cash, which would be, less than the actual value of the course, of course. So who's tagging, who's sharing? Drop it to the comments. Let's randomly pick 2 winners now.
Yeah,
We'll
I love
commercial
it.
break. 5,
Commercial
4,
break is so funny, baby.
3, 2, 1. First one I see that's sharing or tagging. Boom. Allison Byler.
I knew it, Allison. Look at that, already
Allison's
highlighted.
been engaging like crazy. Okay, so Allison, you either get our video and branding academy or cash. Okay,
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whatever this is, Shauna Heinswap. I probably mispronounced your name. I apologize. You're the other winner. So
What?
both of you send an email to support@mylifestyleacademy.com. Include your PayPal if you want the cash, which will obviously be less. It will not be $197. Or you can get the Video Branding Academy, which is worth way more than $197 for free, but it's up to
And
you.
thank
Either
you
one.
for sharing. That is so caring. Look at that. I'm a poet. I didn't know it. Okay, cool. You guys, let's go ahead and move on. Number 5, you can do product reviews. You can do a demo. You can do unboxing. There's so many like creative ways that you can show up and talk about your products. But remember, you never want to give away the ending to the movies. We don't want to show up and like show our product and show the name. We want to be very strategic with hiding the name. We want to focus on the benefits of what this product is going to do. We can do almost like, let's say you're going to use a story, right? You could do a 4-part like story situation, right? In stories, you're going to do a story and you're going to create 4 clips, and clip 1, hey, this is actually one of my very favorite products. This is what it does for me. Clip 2, you're going to take a water.
Say clip, are you talking about stories?
Yeah.
Okay. So because it's not a Facebook Live, but you're just saying a different type of
example. All right, I got rerouted.
I mean, it's okay. It's good stuff. I agree with it, but I think they could also do a live video where they show.
Let's focus on the live video.
Here's some of my favorite products, but I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
And this is the distinction that needs to be made. If you're only doing product reviews of your products, I just don't think that's going to be as effective.
Yes. People are not going to take it at face value.
They're going to be like, oh, you're only promoting the products that your MLM sells.
So here's a really cool idea is you can Google like your competitors, quote unquote, and then you can get 2 or 3 other products.
Sure.
Right. And then you can test it, and then you can report with your feedback, or you can create so somebody asked, okay, how do I create content to attract my ideal person, right? So like, let's say for me, my ideal girl would be somebody like me, but a couple of steps behind me, right? Somebody that's still trying to figure out her brand. Somebody's still trying to figure out how to balance it all, right? Like the kids, the husband, like this, that, and the other thing.
That's good.
And I also then know, okay, somebody like me interested in makeup, right? Even though I don't sell makeup, but if I show up and talk about my 3 favorite makeup finds, even though that video is not necessarily cash flow for my products, right? But inside that video, it's value, yes. But also it shows it that I'm not showing up always with commission breath. Like people trust that more, right? But then I can nonchalantly mention a tip that, the reason why this makeup looks so amazing, if we could talk about it, is because, nutrition truly is the key to glowing skin, right? And I've been taking this one supplement. By the way, if you want to know my recommendation for nutrition supplements, just send me a message, right? So you can do product reviews of even product lines that you're not necessarily making money on, but then bring it back to the foundation of what it is that you believe in. Does that make sense?
And I just want to say two things.
Yeah.
When you look at these bloggers, these big influencers,
Yeah.
right? They're trying on different outfits and then saying where they got the outfit from. And then they're trying different products and, making recommendations. They're building influence by providing value and sharing things that they're trying, things that where they're buying stuff. Like you really got to think outside the box sometimes. Maybe you do a weekly show where you're demonstrating.
This is tip number 7.
No, I know, but this goes back to demonstrating different products. But like Nadya said, you're mentioning your products. And then sometimes you are talking about your products as well, which is a little different than the weekly show. But
I would keep it 80-20.
Yes, exactly. You want it to obviously help you generate leads for your business or your products, but you can strategically do it so that you're nonchalantly mentioning your products and opportunity. And as far as I wanted to talk about this real quick too, because people will say, well, how do I find those ideal leads for my business or for my products? Well, let me ask you this. What problems do they have? If you notice, the reason we have so many people watching our stuff, so many people following our stuff, because we know the problems that our audience has, and we're always giving them solutions. It's not that difficult, actually. Just think about it. Write it down right now. 3, 4, 5, 10 problems that your ideal prospect is having, and then you come up with content that is answering their problem, answering their question. How can I build my business and be profitable in 60 minutes a day? Like that was one of our most viral blog posts, right? Anything that has to do with social media, anything that has to do with duplication, like a lot of that stuff gets a lot of attention. Why? Because we know. How about this one? How to motivate your team. How many times do people ask us how to motivate your team? I mean, it's such a constant. Yeah. So we know what our target audience struggles with. And your target audience doesn't have to be network marketers that are frustrated. That's just our target audience because we've been doing this 19 years. So this is why that 30-day video challenge, and we're not doing an official challenge. We're just challenging you to go live every day for 30 days to come up with ideas, come up with content. And this product review can be really effective because you can easily just share your opinion based on an experience you had with a product. Maybe I could do a product review on my Apple Watch. Couldn't I? Because I just bought this a week ago. At first, I didn't like it.
He thought it was iWatch.
I felt like it was. I'm getting used to saying Apple Watch.
Oh my gosh, baby, you've come such a long way.
Such a long way. But at first, I was like, I don't see the point of this thing, and now I love it because there's certain situations. Expose, evolve, upgrade. That's true.
Oh, my baby.
So at first, you get Nadya because I never read her, right? So I'm going to have Nadya, and that sounds terrible. But just if I need something real quick, I said, and she'll ask me something. I'm like, babe, I sent you a text about that 5 hours ago. And I'm like literally in the same room.
You got to work uninterrupted.
There's just little things about this. I could do a 5-10 minute video on my opinion on my Apple Watch. You guys getting it?
You guys, it's so simple, but the truth is, how many of us, we're a little bit guilty with a capital G, of we make it into such a big ordeal. Where the truth is it's very simple. All you got to do is show up and share a little value, like question, problem, listen to your audience, show up and give a solution. It could be as recent as, earlier today, you had no idea doing live videos was the best strategy for quality leads. And now you can turn around and teach and just simply share your biggest takeaway. But you know what I love even more? And this is where I pride myself on this. I swear, I'm a freak at hearing and then executing. To me, it's the sexiest thing about a human being. Like you learn something and then you quickly spin it into, oh my gosh, let me just make it into a skill set. Like the quicker, the better, right? And so what if you went out and this week you go, I'm just going to go live for 7 days. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to like take a look at it as a project, and I'm looking at what works, what didn't work for my audience, like what was my big takeaway. And then next week you report back on what you learned. You put it into work for 7 days straight. And then here's what I found, what worked and didn't work for me specifically.
Right.
That's so hot. That's so cool. I hope you're really
hot.
going to do it. Okay.
That's
I love
fun.
it. Next one, y'all. Number 6. Let's talk about, and this could be a more like elevated strategy for sure, more advanced, but I know some of you already. It's doing a presentation / webinar. Okay.
Can we say this though? Hold on. These next 3, I would almost say that these are not ideal until maybe after their 30-day.
Oh, good.
Videos.
Okay. So these warning disclaimer 6, 7,
or if you're
8,
a leader and you're already like, you already got a
6,
grasp.
7, 8 is going to be really good, but it is going to help you
a little next level.
Already feel comfortable with video, right? Because it's going to be now become a little bit more intensified. Sure.
Because number 6, I want you to break it down, but just as an example, Jen Cooper, one of our leaders.
Yes.
She did this recently.
Okay.
And it's essentially going live where you're interviewing 3, 4, 5, 6 leaders. And I don't think any of them were actually on her team. They were like sideline, but she had all of them sharing their stories. And it was a live video, but it wasn't a presentation, but it was just everybody sharing their experience and their story without saying the name of the company. And they were doing a giveaway and it was like a big, big deal. So anyway, number 6 is doing presentations, webinars. Like it is advanced, not something we're going to say, hey, you should go do one of these tomorrow, but start thinking outside of the box. Like, how can I get the information that I know is so good, the stories, the angles as to why your business is so great? How can I share that publicly?
Okay. So, and I just want to give you a little bit of a bigger view of this. Now, the topic of doing webinars can get pretty intense. And there's literally trainers out there that have built a 7-figure brand just teaching people how to structure a webinar that converts. Like you're talking about, you can get a little bit carried away. It becomes very, very internet marketing. So I want to just keep it simple. The way that I see presentations or webinars, like the way that John and I use that strategy in our brand, in our business, is we would do, like right now as an example, we have an evergreen webinar that we run in a simple funnel. So basically we created a free training for network marketers that want to build utilizing social media. And then the CTA at the end, we're actually selling our ATM Business Academy, right? So that particular masterclass we did publicly. Now, for those of us that don't have a training company that we're trying to create, and maybe you have your network marketing business and you go, how can I use that for me as a strategy? You can do it maybe 2 ways. The first way, if you could create a generic training, like let's say you are in health and wellness, you can talk about 5 tips to optimizing your health. And of course, we want to make sure that we stay away from, income claims, health claims, all of that good stuff. We're not mentioning the name of your particular products or whatever. And then the CTA, you can transition into, like, this is our company or this is the product, reach out to the person, whatever. Or you can do a presentation like a Zoom or whatever, specifically about your opportunity. But I would say do that inside like your ATM group. I wouldn't do it publicly. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, you shouldn't do a full-blown presentation publicly.
Okay.
There should be some type of funnel or lead capture. Like they got to be in the group. How do they get in the group? Someone's got to invite them. Someone's got to, share the link to the group if it's a group. Like there should be some extra step. But again, that's where
so think like registration, like they're gotta put them through like a little bit of a jump so we can capture that.
You're
lead.
pre-qualifying them.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's switch over to number 7. And this one I really love because it's going to help you create some structure around your brand. And that's going to be doing a weekly, or even for those of us that are super motivated, doing a daily kind of like a talk show video. So a little bit more structured, kind of like how right now, this is our Money Monday with the Meltons, Melton 1, Melton 2. And we started the show a couple years ago. And we show up every Monday. Sometimes we do a Money Monday and a Tuesday, but every week we show up. We do a live, and it's really cool because it's conditioned the audience. It's also put us in a structure where it holds us accountable too, that every single week we want to show up, we want to deliver value. And then also it keeps me accountable to always be doing the research. Like our team also helps us a lot with, okay, let's make sure that we're staying on top of like, our niche topics that we teach. So we are in the loop on social media, and we're always practicing what before we teach you, right? So it's really, really cool. So it's amazing accountability. It's an amazing way to create that community that John talked about earlier as well. And you're conditioning your people that, hey, hell or high water, every week at this time, we're going to come together and we're going to have a great time, right? And number 8, last but not least, John, let us chat about a product giveaway, doing a very specific strategy that is amazing.
Yeah, this is something we started doing years ago as well with our team. And we'd have, specific leaders. Now we have so many leaders that do this with their own, smaller teams. But basically every week, you do a live product giveaway. But here's the key.
Okay.
The whole team promotes it. And in order to win free product, you have to essentially sit through, it's kind of like a timeshare, right? I don't like comparing anything to a timeshare, but it's a good example because you have to sit through the presentation to then get the free stuff. So, it's never, by the way, it's never like a hardcore pitch. It's just basically you sharing before and afters or testimonials, giving the benefits and the value of why these products or why this service, whatever you're selling. But it could be 5 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be super long, but basically everybody's promoting it. Hey, you can win this free product or products. All you got to do is be on this live broadcast, share it, whatever. And we've had live broadcasts that get thousands and thousands of views, 300, 400, 500 live viewers because people just want to win a free bottle of whatever. And it might only be like 1 or 2 products we're giving away, but everybody's promoting it. And it's once a week, bi-monthly, whatever. But it's something that you can do with your team where everybody is promoting the live broadcast. You don't say the name of the company. You don't say the name of the product necessarily. I guess you could say the name of the product if it's something generic, but your goal isn't to, sell them on buying the product from you, the speaker. Your goal is to help your whole team, people on there so that they can learn about the products. And then maybe they win the product at the end or not. You're only going to give away a few products. So most of the people on are not going to win, but they're getting educated on the product.
Yeah.
They're sitting through basically this, information presentation on your products and the value and the stories and why it's so great. And then you refer them back to the person that invited them. So you're essentially doing this for your team. So you could have a team of 10, 20, 50, 1,000, whatever it is. Everybody's promoting this weekly or bi-weekly live giveaway. It's so powerful. And it's really simple, actually, because you're just going on there and sharing stories, talking about the benefits. Like, don't talk about what the product is. Talk about what the product does.
I love it. It's not what it is. It's what it is. So good. I think that's like the perfect way to end this training on a high note with lots of sun behind us. It's almost like nature's way of telling you, you better obey. All right. You better obey is all I can say.
Let's
did you guys love it? Okay, let
winners.
Me know in the comments. What was your favorite tip, right? We just talked about 8 really genius ideas for you to show up to do a live. Now, some of you guys, you've already been doing live videos. So it's kind of cool to continue to expand your modalities, your portfolio, your, different ways that you show up with different topics, different ideas. Because with social media, we also want to be keeping people on their toes. So if you show up with the same type of video every time, you might see that over time, you're not maybe going to get as many views or whatever. So it's important that we continue to evolve, right? Okay, so I hope you loved it. Smash the heart button if you think Melton 1 and Melton 2 crushed it.
Can we do a little Q&A because there were some questions
that came let's
through.
do Q&A and let's do a giveaway.
Why don't we just give away
to the questions?
Two more to who asks good questions.
Ooh, baby, you're on fire today.
Okay, because these people are the ones that stay until the end.
Okay,
so
good.
We should reward
We
them.
should do that.
So
Okay,
Brandon's
I
got a
love
great
that.
question. Brandon Hodge, let me just grab it in case it goes away. So
Hi,
he says, what do you
Brandon.
guys suggest to those who are always, actually, let's give Brandon some because he's always sharing our videos with his
Okay,
team.
yeah.
So Brandon, you can be one of the winners of either cash money or our Video and Branding Academy. You might already have our ATM Business Academy. I'm not sure, but you could pick that one too.
So let our team know.
This is a
please.
great question, but here's the thing.
Okay.
It's just,
Okay, can we say the question? Because
Yeah.
for those of us that are listening
Might
on
not
a
be able to see it. Okay.
podcast, yeah.
He says, John, what do you suggest? What do you guys suggest to those who are always posting political issues on their pages? In my opinion, it slows you down major. I know what you're saying, and I agree with you, but I can't tell someone how to run their page unless they come to me and they say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. What would you advise? Then I'll give them my advice. Stop talking about how you hate Trump or love Trump on your wall. Stop talking about, geez, can't fit in here. Stop talking about politics on your social media. And here's the thing. It's just tough because I don't think it's bad to talk about what you love. I think where it becomes toxic is when you talk about what you don't love, what you hate. When people start bashing Trump or bashing Biden or getting real political. But like, I've done some controversial political posts about how I don't think you should have to wear a mask when you're at home alone on Zoom. I think that's weird. And a lot of people agreed with me. It's almost interesting because I feel like you can kind of get away with things that you would imagine most people agree with. But if it's super controversial where you're like, I think wearing a mask is bullshit. Like, I just don't think you should say that because you might have people on your team that have a health condition or lost a loved one to COVID. And they're going to be like, wow, you are so insensitive that you are actually telling people not to wear masks. Meanwhile, that's why my father died. I just, you know, to me, that's a very sketchy place. And I wouldn't do it. Like, I'll tell people what I would and wouldn't do, and I wouldn't do that. But that's me. It's their Facebook. If they want to do it, man, that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
But, you know, and Tim said this, and I'll never forget the way he put it. I don't think I can quote him exactly. Tim Housden said, once you decide to build a business representing a network marketing company on social media, you've lost your ability to have an opinion on controversial topics. And I'm sorry, but he's got a good point, right? Because you're representing a company. This isn't about you. You're actually affecting other people's businesses. Like if you go on a rant about Black Lives Matter, or you go on a rant about masks, or you go on a rant about rioting or protesting or whatever, Biden, Trump, when you go on a rant about that stuff, yeah, sure, you're going to have your, heck yeah, bro, I agree with you. Way to go, sister. 100%. Nadya, you tell them like it is, right? But you're also going to have people going, damn, I really looked up to that person, but I don't agree with what they're saying. I'm out. I'm not feeling this. So when you ever get into a situation, and again, look, everybody's got their opinion on this, but when you're representing a network marketing company, your opinion is a little bit more challenging to express because you're part of a company that other people are building it for their livelihood, and you could be affecting other people's income. So it's just, again, this is just my perspective. I think you got to be really careful because when you go into that conversation, I can't see who said that, but yeah, it's a slippery slope. You're going in this direction of potentially putting yourself, thank you, Sheila, potentially putting yourself in a situation where you are going to turn off a percentage of your team, a percentage of your following, and you might have some of your top leaders. Some of your top leaders have the polar opposite opinion. It's kind of like if someone goes on stage and says, I want to give all of my success and I want to acknowledge, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's absolutely, you should be talking about, your religious beliefs in a positive way. But if you're like, and by the way, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, go ahead and unfriend and block me. I don't want to, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, ooh, that's not really okay.
Yeah.
Because you're basically telling someone that has a different belief.
The way you put it.
You're telling someone that has a different belief that they shouldn't, like, you can't have another opinion if you're my friend, right? It's kind of interesting to just say, I only want people that agree with me on these topics. Anyway, I kind of went on a rant about that, but
that was good.
I think it's important to talk about it because, again, this is just my opinion, right? If someone doesn't agree, okay, great. You do whatever works for you. But I know I have people on my team that are on the left, that are on the right. I have Christians. I have people that have different religious beliefs. Like, I'm not here to judge people and tell them what they should believe. And you know what? Some people grew up in different cities, states, and countries. They had a different upbringing, a different environment, a different experience. Who am I to say what they should and shouldn't believe? I have my beliefs, but I'm not telling them that they have to agree with me or else I won't be their friend, block me. Like, there's leaders, like executives in companies, top income earners that are saying, if you don't vote for Trump, or if you do vote for Trump, go ahead and delete me as a friend. I'm not feeling that.
Right.
I'm not feeling that. Like, I'd be like, dude, that's just stupid, man. Like, but then there was this one person that commented, I'll never forget it. And they go, well, my beliefs are more important than money. And it's like, yeah, but it's not that's not what this is. It's not about like, oh, well, I just want to make money on people that have an opposing belief. It's about respect.
Right.
It's about, hey, I don't agree with you, but I respectfully disagree with you. This is about having manners. Yeah. This is about having, integrity. This isn't about
the other way is just bullying. Like,
right. Like, if you don't agree with me, like, go fly a kite.
Yeah.
And what you will find in network marketing, most people are on the right, but there are a good amount that are on the left. And I'm not, like, here's what I think our country needs is to start, like, looking up instead of looking left or right. We need to look up, and we need to do some more praying. But again, hey, if someone says, hey, I don't pray, I'm an atheist, like, I'm not going to sit there and blast this person. Right. Now, I also want to be very clear. If someone has, actually, I don't want to go in that direction.
All right, baby.
I was gonna say something very, very controversial, but I think everybody would agree with me, right? But I don't want to get into this anymore. I hope you guys understand.
Okay, great question from Lammy. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. What do you do, Lammy? What do you do when you're promoting to businesses? How do you handle videos?
I think it's pretty simple. I mean, we promote multiple businesses and we do videos, right? We just mix things up. We have different topics of conversation.
Let's say
2 different
that
MLM
it's
businesses.
Not 2 network marketing businesses.
Right. Oh yeah, you should do that.
And by the way, this is a beautiful advice that you should never have businesses that are in direct competition with each other. So in our books, if you have 2 network marketing businesses, right, where they each have an opportunity attached, those are 2 competing businesses. Right. So that, to me, is a formula for disaster, right, like to try to show up.
But let's say
generate leads.
Let's say this. Let's say you're in real estate.
Yes.
And you're looking for real estate investors to invest in your company, into your businesses or into your properties, whatever. But then you also have a real estate training business, a mastermind. Do you see how you could kind of promote both? But sometimes your video is more geared towards looking for investors, looking for people that are looking for a home or whatever, and then or looking to sell. But then you're also maybe writing a book. You have a course. So those are different businesses, but you could promote them in different ways and mix things up. And that's what we do. Sometimes we're promoting, a course. Sometimes we're promoting a launch. So you just mix it up. But yeah, if it's 2 different MLM businesses, like, no, it's hard enough to build one, let alone 2.
Okay, good. I love it. Stacy says, boom. Thank you, Stacy.
And Stacy's crushing it. So Stacy has a real estate business and has been taking our advice for the last few years, sent me a message how she has one of the top agencies in her entire company nationwide.
That's amazing.
Because she creates content, because she does videos, because she's using a lot of these strategies for a non-networking business, but she still does build an agency. She still recruits agents and uses a lot of these practices. That's right, Allison. Unity is important. And the divine being said about people.
Baby, let's do another giveaway. You said you're going to do a couple more.
I'm looking for another question.
Yeah, but the question we just answered.
Yeah, but is there any other questions? Should I wrap it up? I mean, you were watching. I wasn't.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, baby.
That's right,
6:09. We're about to get blasted.
Share good, positive news.
In a good way.
I thought I saw another question that I wanted to answer was like about pages and walls.
Profile. Okay, yeah. Somebody asked, should you do a personal profile on Facebook or should you do a business page? So if
it must
you
have been a while ago.
right there,
here we
Ashley.
go. Okay, so this will be the last question. Ashley, you'll be the winner of some cash or one of the academies. Send an email to our support team, support@mylifestyleacademy.com. Do you recommend a Facebook page or just using your personal? So I recommend everyone starts out with their personal profile. You should not open up a page until you have a funnel. You know what a funnel is. If you don't know what a funnel is, you definitely shouldn't start a page. Okay. Pages make sense when you have an email list, a funnel, you have money to invest into ads, to marketing. If you don't know anything about that, don't do it. Now you can learn about it, but I'm not saying not to do a page. I'm just saying a profile makes more sense because you already have a network of people there. And unless you already have an audience and it's just very competitive right now. To start out small on a page, it makes more sense.
I just think it's tough to also answer because we have to know more information about, what you're doing, what kind of business you have, right?
And it also, if you're just a network marketer, if you're just building a network marketing business, a page does not make sense.
Yeah. So, the way that we love recommending getting started is you start on your personal profile, right? You want to take the path of least resistance. And you want to have, essentially, you want to start on a platform where you already have your most developed audience, if you will. So for most people, it's going to be their personal profile. Now, I do say activate that followers button. So that way the people that you're not friends with, they now have an opportunity to follow your public posts. So when you go live, you should make your live videos public, right? So that way you have an opportunity to now get exposure to grow your audience. And once you get clarity on your voice and your personal brand, you are generating profits in your business and you have the basics down of marketing. Like maybe at this point, you're generating 10 to 20 quality leads per month and you're ready to elevate your strategy. Well, then you can get more techy and you can get more advanced and you can now do a business page, but just know it's going to be, harder, right? The organic reach, it's just not the same at all on the business page. And the minute you open the page, Facebook goes, oh, you have a business. Oh, okay. So if you want exposure,
give me money.
We want money, right? And you also want to know what you're doing with ads. So it's a little bit more of advanced.
It's definitely more advanced.
Strategy.
I'm going to answer one more question.
Okay.
Just because it's easy. What is the best time and day to go live? Whenever you have the energy for it.
Amen.
We used to do the evenings and we just, after a period of time of doing them, we're like, let's just do them during the day. You definitely wouldn't want to go live when it's this sunny and you have a window behind you.
We might have to reevaluate.
No, we're going to have the studio in the basement.
That's true. We are building a new studio right now.
A studio in our basement.
For this very reason.
It's one of the reasons.
I love this office, but for sure that light, it's not optimal, ladies.
Evenings would be good, but we don't really like doing videos in the evening. But I know people, that's when they love.
Have 3 lights staring us in the face right now. If we didn't have 3 lights in the face, we would be dark, dark, dark. It's like, oh my gosh.
Let's just show them.
No.
Oh, geez, just relax. It's almost over.
See how dark it is?
Because you got light behind
you. Can barely see me, you guys. That's crazy. Now, this is not how you get a lot of views on your videos.
You need good lighting. But when you have a window behind you, it's a little... I keep telling Nadya, we'll just throw a curtain over it.
No, baby, no.
She dislikes that idea.
No. All right, this is it. Well, thank you guys so much.
Whenever you got the most energy, that's when you do the video.
If you loved today's training, today's topic, today's podcast episode, right? If you're watching this on a blog, OMG, you're the bomb. Let us know in the comments your favorite tip. What are you going to go implement right away, right? Because ideas are plenty, but implementation is always going to be that thing that separates you from the majority, right? And that's going to kick you boot into success.
One last thing. Remember, and this is going to be my best tip of all, so you're going to be very glad you stayed till the end. When you do videos, it ain't about you. It's about who's watching, even if it's one person. It's about how you can help them, how you can make an impact in their life. Once you get over you, and you stop being so selfish with your goodness, stingy with your goodness, as Nadya would say.
Yeah.
Remember, the more people you help, the more people you impact, the more money you're going to make. So it's a win-win situation. So outgive the competition, not because you're trying to get, but just because you want to be a good human. You want to help people. And by helping people, you're going to help yourself. It's a win-win situation.
I love it.
Cool beans?
So good. We love you guys. See you
Peace out.
next Monday.